Yo, what up? Toshi here. Silver Wolf just made an impact. Take a look at the official Twitter of Honkai Star Rail. The value that was previously thought of the character has been massively increased. You see, she's no longer a hunt buffer, but an everyone buffer. With the hunt characters being as strong as they currently are, in a few days, they will become even stronger. Erudition mains, don't worry, I got you covered in a future video. With how the kit of this character works, she now brings a new composition to Honkai Star Rail, the Break Effect playstyle. So I hope all of you won your 50-50 and maybe even got the character early along the way. But if you didn't luck out, don't worry, we have tons of free pulls in this patch. But we must take a look to understand why exactly Silver Wolf has made an impact as much as she has. Why is a character this small and this cute such a menace? You see, with the elemental skill of Silver Wolf, she's able to take a weakness from your team and put that weakness on the enemy if the enemy already didn't otherwise have that said weakness. So if I have two lightning characters and two quantum characters in the team comp, if the enemy has a quantum weakness, but the enemy doesn't have a lightning weakness, Silver Wolf can take that lightning weakness from your team and put it on the enemy, which allows you to break that enemy for the lightning weakness that it otherwise didn't already have. And if you're trying to hit the enemy with an element that it wasn't weak to, well, the resistance of said enemy to the element increases. However, Silver Wolf puts the weakness on the enemy, which gets rid of that extra resistance and further decreases the resistance herself. With her ultimate, she's able to decrease the defense of the enemy target and dealing massive damage to a single enemy. Silver Wolf is also able to further put extra debuffs to not only reduce the attack, reduce the defense, and reduce the speed of the enemy. And whether or not Silver Wolf uses a basic attack, elemental skill, or her ultimate, she will place one of those debuffs on the enemy. So if a kit's so powerful, how can a character that simply just supports the team do so much and provide so much value? Well, that value is hidden within something called break. Shield break, as they call it, toughness, bar break, whatever you want to call it. Let me explain. You see, with a character like Asta deals tons of damage through the break or shield break of the enemy because she's constantly doing multiple hits on said enemy. And whenever you reduce their toughness bar all the way down to 0, you break the enemy's toughness. With Silver Wolf being able to put a weakness on the enemy, you're able to break much more often. So when you have a character like Seal who wants to take advantage of the break because you get massive amounts of damage. Not only that, but you probably have some break effect substats, which further increases your damage whenever you break the enemy's toughness bar. But as a character that supports the team, she also supports herself. Let me explain. You see, whenever Silver Wolf uses her elemental skill, she will put the weakness on the enemy, and if she puts quantum weakness on said enemy that otherwise didn't already have it, she's going to reduce the toughness bar after she puts the weakness on the enemy. The weakness goes onto the enemy, and then the enemy takes damage from the elemental skill. So not only does she shred the toughness bar of the enemy, but she also increases her own personal damage. And with her ultimate, she decreases the defense of the enemy first, and then deals damage to that enemy. So she takes full advantage of being able to lower the defense of the target and deal massive damage to that enemy. You see, there's a character in the game that wants to constantly take advantage of being able to break the enemy's toughness bar. That's going to be Himiko. But this character doesn't really get much value out of Silver Wolf as other characters. You can still use Himiko with Silver Wolf, but it really wouldn't be the same as if you use Xing Yuan. And that is only because Himiko doesn't really have very much single target damage. But what if I told you Silver Wolf also buffed damage over time? You see, damage over time effects does not ignore defense. So you probably played other turn-based games in the past, other gacha games. Whenever you have a character that does damage over time or dot effects on the enemy or burn effects, you ignore a percentage of the target's defense. Well, you see in this game, the attack values of damage over time effects are higher, but you do not ignore the enemy's defense. With a character like Silver Wolf being able to essentially decrease the enemy's defense and the enemy's resistance, you take full advantage of being able to increase the damage the enemy takes by dot effects. You see, damage over time does much more damage if the enemy's defense is lower because it doesn't ignore defense. So being able to have Silver Wolf allows you to do much more dot damage to a single target. And you could say the same about Pela as well. If you decrease the enemy's defense with Pela, you will also increase the dot damage as well. But the only thing Pela doesn't really have is being able to put that weakness on the enemy. So that's where the two characters fall to line. You see, the guy that uses the best shampoo in the world has gotten even stronger. Being able to deal more dot damage on the enemy because the enemy's defense is lowered and said weakness is on the enemy allows Sampo to deal much more damage with his dot effects. And not only that, but he's able to dish out even more damage because the enemy will be weak to the wind element. So let's just say the Sampo stocks rised. But this character will have even more value later on, which we'll explain in a different video. Serval, another character that's able to take advantage of dot effects, also reaps the value of having Silverwolf in the team comp. But this character you get for free, that makes it all the better. Pitch Dark Hook the Great, Miss Can I please sell you my teddy bear? Essentially got even stronger, probably one of the strongest characters with Silverwolf now. You see, this character not only does nice single target damage, but she also puts dots on the enemy. But not only being able to dish out tons of damage as a single target DPS character, but being able to take full advantage of dot effects because Silverwolf drops the defense of the enemy. Let's just say Silverwolf buffed Pitch Dark Hook the Great in every single way possible. A character is so strong, they literally had to nerf break effect all because of her, and breaking the said toughness bar of the enemy constantly. This character is so strong and she takes full advantage of the break effect. With Silverwolf into the mix, she gains a lot more value not only as a single target DPS character, but also a very strong abuser of the break effect substat. And last but not least, the man, the myth, the legend, Xing Yuan. This character has gotten a lot more value with the release of Silverwolf. If you are a Xing Yuan main, you will find a lot of value in Silverwolf. Not only is Xing Yuan a very nice character at shield breaking thanks to the Lightning Lord, but he's also a very good character for single target DPS damage. You see, whenever you're fighting one enemy, the Lightning Lord will do all the damage to said enemy. You're going to take full advantage of the effects that Silverwolf provides for said team comp. Not only the break effect playstyle, but dealing massive amounts of single target damage to an enemy that has his defense down, his resistance down, and his pants down also. I'm very surprised the character this strong was released so early. She has very good personal damage, very strong team comp capabilities, very nice synergy with nearly every single character in the game, providing so much value for your account long term, and just being one of the most loved characters in the Honkai universe, Haxor Bunny. But I did read a comment in a previous video, and I gotta say, to the person that said Haxor Bunny essentially fell off at a certain point, I guess Silverwolf will probably meet that fate at some point too. But let's just say that's probably years from down the line. Hopefully, maybe, so I can justify my Silverwolf pulls. So I can't believe I'm going to say this, but where it stands right now, Silverwolf seems to be the only character that is a must pull. A must pull, that is, if you care about being able to use any character you want in the game and have fun with that character. You can use Hook. You can use Shampoo and Conditioner. You can use even Bronya. You can use these two Bronyas together and have a very nice hypercarry team comp. You can use just Silverwolf in a team comp where you have essentially a mono team. She provides a very fun playstyle across the board, and she is simply too versatile to pass up. So I have to give this character a 10 out of 10. The only bad side I can think about to the character is, well, she doesn't really have too much screen time in the game. But that changes with patch 1.1, which I can't wait to do the new story quest featuring Silverwolf. I stream daily on Twitch, twitch.tv/Toshio, the link will be in the description. Now, as I've said in every single video, you don't have to break the bank for a character, she will have a rerun in the future. Just like I'm going to say for a certain character in the future that I can't name just for purposes. Maybe you are saving for Jinglu, or maybe you are saving for Blade. Definitely go for the characters that you've been saving for this long and continue to stay strong. She will have a rerun at some point, or maybe never. Thank you for watching, and have a nice rest of your day. Peace.